Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, May 1st, and welcome to Trackside with Tom. My name is Tom Hogan. I'm the owner and operator of Steel Highway Railcams, and I am very pleased to be with you here this afternoon. Always looking forward to these lunchtime chats that we like to have on Wednesdays, so thank you everyone for tuning in today. Excuse me. We have some recovery from the storms from over the weekend, and we're working on getting webcams back online, and I believe that we're getting pretty close. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and talk about our Woodbine webcam, because when we were on the air last week, it had been installed, but then it ran for about 2.5 days and then almost immediately had a power supply failure. So the Woodbine webcam, I had to ship them out a new server. They shipped me the new one, the old one back, and we now have, as you can see, the Woodbine webcam right here on Steel Highway. And I do want to say a big thank you to the folks at Main Street Woodbine for hosting this. If you look at they've got a pretty neat little setup out there. They've got a former CNW caboose. They have got they've also got a IC depot that's been restored, as well as a gas station, which is where the webcam is actually located. And let's just talk a little bit about our location here. So in the foreground, down here at the bottom of the screen, we have the CN, former Illinois Central Omaha sub. So to give you an idea, when you see trains go by Mills Tower, they're operating between Cedar Falls or Waterloo, and on the other side it's Fort Dodge. And a lot of times those crews come out, they swap trains at Mills or at Williams or somewhere else, and then work back to their home terminal. So west of Fort Dodge, just a couple miles west of Fort Dodge actually, there is a spot called Terra. And Terra is where the CN crosses the UP North and South line, which comes out of Grand Junction, goes up to Eagle Grove. And then as well, it also, oh look, there's a train. What do you know? It also splits to go to either Sioux City or Omaha. And so they have crews that work from Fort Dodge to Sioux City and back. And I'm not sure, but I think that they have crews in Fort Dodge and crews in Sioux City, and they might swap trains and work back. Same thing on the Omaha side. A lot of times they'll meet at Denison, the crew from Fort Dodge and the crew from Omaha. And they'll meet at Denison and then swap trains and work back to their home terminals. So looking at this, going to the left is going eastbound toward Fort Dodge, or in the case of this UP train that we see going by, going toward Boone. And then going to the right is going west, in the UP case, going toward Missouri Valley, where they split either to go to Blair, Nebraska, or Council Bluffs, Iowa, and then the CN, which goes back to Council Bluffs. Let's see here. So let's check out some comments. Well, we'll actually back up and check out another roll by, if I can find one here. I don't have my motion detection turned on, so I'm a little bit on this particular site anyway. So I'm a little bit lost here as to when. Oh, here we go. Pretty sure I just found one right about there. And we might have to advance a little bit. Oh, yep, here we go. Let's see what we got. So on the UP, this is main 1, which this empty hopper train is going by. Main 2 is further away. For the CN, the siding is actually the track closer. The siding is actually the track closer to the camera. The Council Bluffs or the Omaha sub main is the one that's further away. This siding, the CN is actually in the process of ripping this out, and it looked like that it had already been stubbed off further east from this location. So this is not active tracks from what I can tell. Just another note here, this crossing device, this is something that's pretty unique that Evan and I were commenting on when we were in Woodbine. This has a bell on the top of it, and because this is actually a PTZ cam, I'm going to zoom this out slightly just to show you. So the reason that this has a bell on top of it is because, oh look, we got one going in each direction here. All right, we got a meet on camera. Very nice. Container train on main 2 going east, and empty coal train on main 1 going west. So, because of where the street is located, both of the crossing protection devices, in this case it's just 2 sets of crossbucks, are both on the far side of the track because there's nowhere to really wedge a crossbuck or a crossing signal in between the street and the siding. So in order to mitigate that, they put in this ringer, and this is literally just a bell. There's nothing else, and it's on top of these crossbucks to alert people to the fact that there's a train, even though there's both crossbucks are on the same side, in this case on the south side of the rail. So while this container train is going by, let's get caught up on our comments. We have Nina ATCS, yes, test 1, 2, 3, hello. Daniel Swanson, hello. Dave Kroger, happy hump day to you as well. Yes, it is also May Day for any communists that are in the crowd today. Let's celebrate May Day. But that's a throwback to the Soviet Union that would always have big parades on May Day. It's actually the day you're supposed to like pick flowers and give them to your mother. And have May Day celebrations, yes. Give May Day baskets. That's right, Dave Kroger. Hello, Barry Anderson. E. Slade 4, Garen Henderson. Jim Mueller, good to have you back. Good to see you checked in, buddy. Let's go back. So we're not going to find a roll by on the CN in the last 12 hours because they run at night. And so that's not something that we're realistically going to see. If you want to pay attention to the CN movements, there's generally one train a day in each direction, excuse me. And the CN usually operates at night. So here's another eastbound container train, international shipping containers, 20 and 40 footers. So following up, hello, ATSF 49, good afternoon. Ryan, Buddy, Red Oak Cam number 6 shortly after 0600 this morning, and then the Z train, Chicago to Denver C train at 6:25. Thank you, Dave. We might have to check that out a little later too. Clay train, Ryan, Yep, Ryan Winan, hello, hello. Carney sighting in Cherokee. Thank you, Dave. That's what I couldn't come up with. That is exactly right. Good afternoon, KC8. Kansas train videos. CN crews rarely swap on the Waterloo sub. All right, so they're operating through from Waterloo to Fort Dodge now. 260 train passing the Clinton cam around 500. Okay, 500. Should be COKNA you are showing. All right, so I'm guessing that's the... I'm guessing that's the empty coal train we were looking at before. Sioux City, Iowa, Union Pacific is out of Omaha, Nebraska. Yep, meet. Hello, Mark Dowis. Hello, Ryan. Glad to have the Ames camera back. Yes. So, we'll get to that in a little bit here. I'll circle back to that Ames camera. Mayday, mayday. Word on the Mendota camera. Yes, I am still actively working with the folks at the Mendota Depot, and we are working toward a webcam, but there is no date for when that's going to happen as of yet. But thank you for the question, Marty's Train Videos. Linda Bremer, hello. Never exactly heard of 575 71 swapping. They would just go to Waterloo, Fort Dodge, then take train back the next day. Unit train swapping crews, but even that's rare. All right, well, that's some good information. Thank you. So, the Ames camera, yes. Let's talk about the Ames camera quick. So, what happened was, I thought that it went offline because of the storms that went through over the weekend, or last Friday, I guess. Well, it turns out that the utility line actually got cut. And so that's why we lost the Ames camera. However, the ISP there in Ames was able to go out yesterday morning. They identified the problem actually 2 nights ago. They got them back online yesterday morning. And now we have the Ames camera back online. But yes, great question. That's what was going on. The Skays Coal had actually completely lost internet service at their business. They weren't able to do anything. So that is why Ames was offline. But we are back online now. So this is just showing you. So this is the one crossbuck that's on the south side of the tracks. And then once this pans over, it'll catch up a little bit, and you'll see that we have the other crossbuck, which I showed you before, also on the south side of the tracks. And that's why there's that goofy little crossing bell on top of the crossbuck that has no gates. It's a fairly unique setup, but that's what they use in Woodbine because they can't have crossbucks on each side of the tracks. All right, let's see here. What else do we have for comments? Clay Train 337-338 swap crews get back to Dubuque. Yeah, I'm guessing you're talking about the Freeport crews that swap. Jeff Fife, hello. Buchanan Farms, hello. Yes, it's been a while. 54913 at Ames, all right. Hello, Barry and Butler Junction. Need some cameras in Central Illinois. I could not agree more. I definitely feel like that we need cameras in Central Illinois. So that's something that I really would like to work toward. 549 UP CNNS mixed freight. Stephen Kern, hello. All right, guys. Well, thank you for all the comments. We're caught up on that now. And I am going to switch gears. We'll go over to Red Oak. Need more cameras in Nebraska. Yeah, there's a lot of places that could definitely use more webcams. There is no doubt about that. All right. So as we are moving along here, we are going to go to Red Oak, Iowa. And while we're at Red Oak, that will also give me the opportunity to talk about Creston as well. My sincere hope is that we're going to be back online at Creston in the next couple of days. Creston is the last one that, for you guys that don't know, Creston got a direct hit from a tornado over the weekend. They were very significantly impacted. So here is our red oak camera. And again, we're looking west here. And we're going to roll this back to 0600 and look for the eastbound Amtrak, which had to have been pretty much on time to be rolling through here. Oh, well, the first thing that we found actually was the Z train that Dave was talking about. So this is the westbound Chicago to Denver Z train. There's just this one pair of Z trains that operate on the Oak and Creston subs. And this is the westbound, and usually they meet overnight somewhere. Usually they meet overnight and somewhere further east of here. A lot of times between Creston and Ottumwa, or between even Creston and Mount Pleasant, that you'll see them meet overnight. But this is the westbound set, and you can see that it's just past 6:25 in the morning here, and he is continuing his trek westbound toward Denver. Lots of FedEx containers, it looks like. ABF. I'm guessing we're going to see some piggybacks on the rear of this train as well. Yep, there it is. Some JB Hunt intermodals, spine cars, piggybacks, UPS trailers. So that is your Denver mail train, if you want to refer to it as that, on the former CB&Q running from Chicago to Denver. Maybe we could even call this a Zephyr mail train, perhaps. So that is exactly where we are, what we're looking at right now. Lots of piggyback traffic here on the rear of this train. Lots of UPS trailers. And there is the rear. And now we're going to back up a little bit further and try to see if we can find this eastbound California Zephyr. Part of the problem is that because Amtrak doesn't use Freds, it's really tough, really tough to pick this out, and they zip by so fast. That's really easy to miss. I don't know if I'm going to find this or not. But we're just going to let it play here for a little bit. I know that Dave gave us a timestamp of just shortly after 0600. If someone has a more precise timestamp, that would be great. Otherwise, we're just going to let this play for a little bit, and hopefully Amtrak will appear in front of us. Oh, well. All right. Oh, that was just the camera reset. Okay. So, let's get caught up on our comments here. We're waiting for Amtrak's appearance. Let's see. MNPAL with the DPU. All right. 337, 338 swap crews so Dubuque crew can get back to... Yes, we got that. All right, so we need to skip down here. Man, we need some... Yes, cameras in Central Illinois. The 5:49 timestamp at Ames. And then more cameras in Nebraska. So Jeff Heisley, hello. Steve Emmons, hello, Steve in Oklahoma. And Ryan, elementary school to cross-guard Friday. Tornadoes went off and they didn't let the kids out till 16:30, 20. Okay. Yeah, that's probably the smart thing, safe thing to do there. Assuming that they did not want the kids to be put in danger by being out that long or being let out during a tornado. Go through Bailey Yard. Somehow I think the UP would have a few questions about that. Eastbound grain train at Red Oak, 1049. We can definitely look that up. Weather video for Steel High. Thank you, Cam. Yes, thank you. From Manly. All right. Yeah. Yes, and thank you to Tyler for Kansas Train Videos for preparing all of our content, the highlight videos that you see, most of the uploaded content. That's what he actually creates. So, thank you for doing that. Okay, so you're saying that at 10:29, Barry Anderson put in a timestamp here. We're going to see if we can find 10:29. I'm a full hour off and find this grain train. A little bit too far. Oh, it looks like we actually got... Oh, well, this is interesting. We apparently... So let's back up even further and see... What do we have here? This loaded or empty coal train? Let's even see. So this is a westbound empty coal train. Couple of EMD products on the head end there. And as he is continuing west, it looks like he's slowing down to a stop. So he's showing up at 10:01. And MARX, that could be a Mid-American coal train. This could be a coal train that came off of the CP, potentially, at Ottumwa. So just keep that in mind. MARX, I think that's the reporting marks for Mid-American Energy. And it's a rotary dump train, which is what Mid-American does. So if anyone knows, that would be interesting to find out if this is actually a Fruitland coal train that's being returned to the mine and would have come off of the CP at Ottumwa. So he gets in here, he shows up at 10:01, and then he must have been holding back for a meet with this grain train, which we're going to see roll by at about 10:29. And we will just skip right ahead a little bit here. Here comes our, I assume, loaded grain train heading east. And he cruises by with a couple of GEs on the head end. And yes, this is a, you know, there's some private hoppers in here, but there's quite a bit of BNSF system cars. We've got BNSF swoosh logos. We've got wagon wheels. BNSF reporting marks. Pretty, there, I'm like, there was a private that just went by. I think that was an SIRX. But mostly it looks like these are... Mostly it looks like these are just BNSF system. There's a wagon wheel card, a COER hopper, Tilex, and as this guy cruises by, you know, the assumption is that they were making a meet here, and we actually got to see that on camera. Maybe because of a work window further west, it's very possible. Maintenance in the way, to borrow a term. And let's see here. While this guy is rolling by, Rocky Run. Rocky is rocking. Plenty of traffic at Red Oak this morning. Was looking for the Shenandoah job, but haven't found it. All right. Ragbri is staying overnight in Red Oak this year. Yes. Camera in Kansas. I'd be interested in a camera in Kansas. There's all kinds of interesting stuff going on in Kansas, definitely. Yes, you're welcome. MARX. Yes, Mid-American Energy Corp. That's exactly what I thought. Thank you, Daniel Swanson. And Jeff Heisey. Yes, love coal trains. Good to talk to you. Yes, Jeff from Tucson, Arizona. Thank you for joining us. So here is the rear of our grain train heading east with a DPU on the rear. And then let's see how long it takes. It probably isn't going to take it too long because I don't think that he met more than one train here. And at 10:34, he's pulling on him. So I'd like to see, I'm assuming if this came off the CP truly, that there should be rear DPUs on the train. Sometimes they send these with 6 engines, sometimes just 4. Yes. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 rear DPUs. So I think that pretty well solidifies that that is in fact a Mid-American coal train, and that did come off of the CP at Ottumwa. All right. I think we're going to move on. We did not find Amtrak, sadly, but I did want to just point out to everyone that we're hoping that Creston is going to be back online very soon. I've got someone who should be going out to do some troubleshooting there tomorrow, and hopefully he will be able to identify the problem and either get it back online or tell me what we need to do to get Creston back online as well. And I know that if anyone sees Andy Brown, make sure and let him know that his Mid-American coal train went by Red Oak this morning. But he had, well, no, because he's at, well, he checks out the Mid-American coal trains too, but the Muscatine Power and Water trains are the ones that he really cares about. So now he'll know when those goes by Red Oak as well, as they are approaching. So let's move right along. We had a request, I believe, and a timestamp to go over to Ames. And since we are pleased to have, 0609, there it is. Oh, okay. Somebody did put it in the comments. All right. Hang on. 0609. Now we know where we can find Amtrak. Eastbound Amtrak number 6, the California Zephyr, and we are going to look for 609. Apparently we were looking away from a beautiful, yep, there it is. All right, 60844. This is going to be really, really fast. But we're going to watch these guys just absolutely scorch through here. This is, Red Oak is about halfway between Omaha and Creston. Red Oak is not a station stop, so Amtrak really does just kind of fly right through. And we're going to witness that momentarily. Going through here at 609, here comes some headlights around the curve. It is very much a close to on-time run for Amtrak this morning. And we see a pair of P42s on the head end. And he is cruising right along, probably right at track speed. No private cars today, it doesn't look like. And there is our Amtrak roll-by for Red Oak this morning. So, thank you for putting that timestamp in there. I know A-Train isn't in the chat today, but appreciate him putting that in the comments so we could track it down nonetheless. All right. Now, we are going to jump over to that Ames timestamp, which I believe was 10, or excuse me, where are we at? I believe that was at 5:49 this morning. And of course, we are not finding, I guess I'm going to have to do this manually. view channel. And here's Ames. We found it. All right. So 5:49:13. Thank you for the timestamp at Ames. And hopefully, well, of course, we gotta watch this. We can't just. There we go. Now over to Ames. 5:49:13. We got to go back another whole hour. We're at 6:19. Oh, 5:4. Oh, I went the wrong way. 5:49. Here we go. All right. So we can see that we've got a approach on main 2, all red on main 1. I'm guessing that this guy is coming around the curve on main 1. We'll see what we get here in a moment as he rounds the curve and blows out the camera with his headlights. The little square here with the signal indications anyway. Just totally. So yeah, there's our UP leader with a CN motor and an NS motor. And this is on a eastbound manifest train rolling through Ames, Iowa. So falling up 90. Thank you for the timestamp. Definitely appreciate it. Looks like we've got some refrigerated boxcars. We've got regular boxcars. Oh, and here is a meet. Look at that. We've got a westbound shipping container train meeting the eastbound. And apparently, for some reason, this is not. I'll have to do some digging into why this isn't setting off the motion detection. But this is our on-screen meet that we've got going here. And yeah, ONE, Ocean Network Ocean Network Express. Is that what it is? But yes, those are 40-foot containers destined for loading onto ships. And yeah, pretty neat. Oh, so we did catch it. It took a while, but we did in fact catch this as motion detection. It just took it longer than I would have expected. That's all. All right. Well, as we roll this by, we have some more comments to check up on. Jeff Heisey, you took Amtrak 4 times and loved it. That's fantastic. And falling up 90. Yes, thank you for the timestamp at Ames. Definitely appreciate that. Oh, and thank you to our host sites that we already checked out. The Woodbine Main Street Association, which hosts us at the Woodbine location. And then also, thank you to the Red Oak Depot and Historical Society. Red Oak Depot Museum and World War II Museum, I think is how they list themselves. So thank you to both of our host locations for getting us online there and allowing us to host webcams at those locations. There was a DPU that went by on the eastbound. This westbound, I know he's running on an approach. This guy is really crawling along. I feel like there must have been maybe another westbound that went by just ahead of this that he's running on his blocks. So, yeah, thank you to both of those host sites, and thank you to Skis Cole for hosting us here and for helping me with the troubleshooting to get the camera back online yesterday. Definitely appreciate both of those both of those assistants. Well, the assistants and the host location, yes. Texas Eagle Amtrak. All right. Well, that is very exciting. All right. As we are continuing this roll by, I do want to talk again about, just as a reminder to everybody, at the end of the month of May, we are going to be done with scheduled Trackside with Tom. May 22nd is going to be the last, or no, I'm sorry, May 15th, which is actually, because we're on episode 98 right now, so we're going to do 99 and 100 on the 8th and the 15th, and then May 15th we're going to be done for the summer. Because of my kids being out of school, I'll still try to do some intermittent programs if things come up that are particularly interesting. I will make sure and get online and address those, but for the most part, Trackside with Tom is going to be suspended over the summer, and we're going to be done on May 15th, and then we'll come back in September, sometime depending on when school starts, end of September or end of August or beginning of September. I'm kind of shooting for a September 4th return is what I'm looking at. I don't know if that's going to be exact or not, but that's just kind of what I'm eyeballing right now. Now, there will still be webcam installs over the summer, so don't think that just because I'm taking the summer off from Trackside, I'm not automatically going to be just be sitting at home not doing anything. I am going to be going out and visiting host sites, meeting with potential host sites, trying to do server maintenance, and installing new webcams over the course of the summer. So those are all things that will still be going on. I'm just not going to be able to do this weekly scheduled Trackside program over the course of the summer with 6 kids in the house with me. So anyway, wanted to get that out of the way quick just so everybody knows. And we are still, oh, there is the rear of our container train. So we got a meet on camera. We've got eastbound and westbound going by Ames, Iowa. So thank you to Skis Cole for hosting us at this location. And the next thing that I want to do actually is we're going to put this back up. We're going to skip over to Fort Madison. And at Fort Madison, Iowa, of course, there's never any shortage of traffic at Fort Madison, but the viewership at Fort Madison has just been fantastic these last couple of weeks. And so I want to thank everybody for really propelling Fort Madison into it was always kind of the number one spot, but the viewership, there's 100 to 200 people online here every single day. And I just wanted to make sure and tell everybody thank you so much for checking out Fort Madison, for continuing to support Steel Highway, and all of the viewership that we've gained, specifically on Fort Madison in the last couple of weeks. So thank you everyone for participating in that. So here is an eastbound container train, domestic container train going eastbound at Fort Madison. And Jeff Heisey, yep, we'll see you later. You can always go back and check out the second half of the program if you don't have time right now. The Borealis, the second Amtrak Chicago, it says start May 21st, just announced. Yes, thank you to all the Fort Madison. Yes, thank you, Binky. Definitely appreciate it. But thank you to all of our new viewers who have been checking out Fort Madison, because the viewership has just skyrocketed, and then it gets up, over 300 most of the time when Amtrak is in town. So thank you everyone for being for checking that out and being there on the Fort Madison camera, participating, and just kind of continuing to spread the word about Steel Highway. We definitely appreciate it. So, and yes, thanks for chiming in, and welcome, Binky. Always appreciate having you here as well. And thank you to our host, the Lost Duck, here in Fort Madison. Definitely very excited to have them as a host location. I did want to mention also that there's a couple of Steel Highway webcams that are going to be added to another streaming service. And I wanted to point this out because I want to give them a little bit of a plug also. So, if you look up, oh, why am I not finding this? I just got it. Yeah. So, the Flossmoor cameras and the... Oh, hang on a second. I did not let anybody watch. I got a little too carried away with Fort Madison. I didn't actually let anybody watch the roll by. I apologize for that. Here, let's run this back a little bit. We got a 1-unit wonder eastbound Z train at Fort Madison. Here we go. 2816 was passing any Northern Transcon webcams. I think that Detroit Lakes would be the one if it was going to pass one of the Northern Transcon webcams. I think Detroit Lakes is the one that's actually on the CP up there. So that would be the one to check out. The we haven't talked about it, but I was actually going to go over to Columbus, Wisconsin, Julie's coffee shop, and talk about that because it's going to pass there on Saturday. As they go through town, it's going to go by that Columbus, Wisconsin webcam. And that was actually what I was going to wrap up with. But thank you, buddy, for pointing that out, and we will definitely segue to that as soon as I find what I was looking for here, which is Railcam. That's what they call themselves. It's Railcam UK Live. And if you go to... I want to find the actual website. There we go. Railcam.uk. So, Railcam.uk has a number of webcam locations in the United Kingdom. And I'm going to actually pull their website down here so you can see this. So, and there you can register for free, and they have webcams that are, they have them divided up. Mainline, heritage railways, which we would consider like tourist railroads. And I am going to turn this off and log in here quick, but you don't get to see my login. Everyone else does. Or my wife does, I guess, and my kids, but you don't. So if we go to home here and we go to this is the railcam.uk, and they have cameras. They have cameras that are in the UK, but they also rebroadcast some cameras from the United States as well. And what you're going to see is that if you check out this railcam.uk, they are going to start including the Chicago area cameras off of. They're going to start including the Chicago area cameras off of the off of Steel Highway as well. So check out railcam.uk. They've got a fantastic website, and it's definitely worthwhile to check out. Lots of neat stuff. It gets you something. It gets you kind of a perspective that you maybe not always get, and then you also get to have. They have their version of ATCS, which you can look at and see exactly where trains are, the train numbers, where they're moving to, all kinds of fun stuff there. But definitely check out railcam.uk, and they are going to be rebroadcasting some Steel Highway content as well. So I just worked that out with them here this morning. So now, the final thing we're going to talk about today is going to be the CP 2816. And we're going to switch over to Columbus, Wisconsin. Columbus, Wisconsin Railcam. There we go. Julie's Java House. Oh, and thank you to the Lost Duck in Fort Madison for hosting us at that wonderful location. Now we are going to switch over to Julie's Java House in Columbus, Wisconsin. And actually turn it on so we can see it. So here is the live feed from Julie's Java House. And we'll back this up, see if we can find a train here nearby. Julie's Java House is also an ATCS host location, and most of the Watertown sub and Toma subs are online. If you check out the CP, Wisconsin map, I believe that is where you will find the ATCS information for the Columbus. But this is the Columbus Amtrak station. And we want to, I was hoping, anyway, to back this up and have a train roll by. But apparently I can't be that fortunate. I do know that Amtrak is due through here 1:47 in the afternoon, but he's running a little bit late today. So why, oh why, are we having such a problem with Columbus, Wisconsin? We're not finding any trains out here. This is a little bit disappointing to me. I've gone back and maybe, this is, oh, wait a second. There, we found something. Look at that. All right. So we are going to watch a roll by here at Columbus, Wisconsin. But while we're waiting for that, I do want to, all right, it looks like we've got this would be a westbound heading through Columbus, but you are going to be able to see the CP 2816, which will go by this camera if they're on schedule on Saturday, sometime in the middle of the day. They'll be running from Portage down to Chicago. And they'll be going by this Columbus webcam. And then next week, and we'll be back on the air on Wednesday of next week. And then Thursday of next week, the CP 2816 will be running from Bensonville to Nahant at Davenport, Iowa. And then Friday they're doing a display session in downtown Davenport. And then after that, I believe on Monday of next week, they're going to be going from Davenport down to Kansas City. So that'll be the day that they're running on the Ottumwa and Kansas City subs. So lots of opportunities. The CP 2816 is going to go by quite a few Steel Highway webcams. Columbus, Wisconsin, and then Savannah, Illinois, Clinton, Port Byron, Muscatine. There's the end of that CP train. So that was well, Clinton and Port Byron, and then they'll have their day at Davenport, and then going beyond that, there will be Muscatine, Washington, and Ottumwa that they'll go by as they proceed south. So, yes, May 11th, running to Kansas City. That's correct. So, let's get caught up on our comments here. And I would have liked to have found one more roll-by here at Columbus. But thank you to our host, Julie's Java House, for hosting this location in Columbus, Wisconsin. Oh, here is another roll-by on the CP. 7:15 in the morning. And we'll see another westbound. Looks like a empty grain train heading west. So, what else do we have for comments here? Webcam along the river sub somewhere. I would love to have the river sub. I've already tried the depot in Red Wing, and they basically told me no. I mean, not exactly, but they definitely weren't interested. Westbound coming in Charlotte. Red board cross, so moving slow, M399. All right, well, I don't think we'll have a chance to jump over to Charlotte today, but thank you for the heads up. Definitely appreciate it. CPKC track work near Milwaukee this morning. All right, thank you, Barry. May 11th, yes, running to Kansas City. And then Amtrak number 8 in Columbus between 13 and 1500. Yep, that all sounds about right. Well, and here we have a truck moving by in front of the camera, pulling right past and costing us the ability to see this train roll by. But there goes the rear of the train. So that is going to be it for today. We will wrap this up. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. It looks like we had a peak of about 46 people. So thank you, everyone. Always appreciate the support. And have a fantastic week. And if you have the chance to, make sure and tune in on Saturday to watch the CP 2816 roll through Columbus, Wisconsin. Otherwise, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we will catch up with you again next week. Have a fantastic weekend.